Ba-ding! Copy the figure, done. And the given line of reflection, done. Then draw the reflection image using a ruler. Here's my ruler. Let's just do one of these to the best. It's kind of blurry. Is that a Office quote? Did you do that on purpose to quote The Office? No, kind of blurry. Okay, Keon, no one asked about your cat problems. Kind of blurry. It's better. Let's do the one on the left, because the one on the right's pretty simple. The one on the left. K is on the mirror. Boop. Okay, let me actually tilt it sideways, because I actually can now. N is like that far away. M is, let's see how far away M is, like that. Well, hold on, let me make it more accurate. That could be M, I suppose. M, and K is on. J is going to be like right there, and L is going to be like right there. Now, if I was a better teacher, I would actually measure it with the ruler that I had, but I'm not that good at my job, so there you have it. It's a reflection. It's a reflection, dog. It's a reflection. It's a reflection, bro. And then this one, you would just end up with something like this, give or take. So that one's kind of easy, but you know, you're not going to be asked to draw it. Your test in a few days virtually is going to be all multiple choice. It's going to have to be, since it's a virtual. Let's do some drawing. The next 7 problems are going to involve drawing shapes and reflecting. Although, point J has... There's just nothing I can do to make this absolutely perfect. Point J has coordinate -4, 1. What are the coordinates of point J prime after the image of J? The image of J, I know that. After rotation of 180 about the origin. All right, so -1, 4. Beep, beep. That's J. Simply put, a rotation is where your point will appear after, or where it appears to be after you do the rotation. So if I were to rotate it completely upside down, it appears that the way we get to J, if that's my origin, and I'm spinning it around the origin because that's what it says, it appears that the way I get to J is I go right 1 down 4. So J prime is going to be right 1 down 4. So let's fix it. J prime, we said, was right 1 down 4, and that's my answer. I'll just draw it out anyway so that you can see it. I've heard of Optimus Prime, but J prime? What? I'm going to have to rotate this 90 degrees clockwise. Since I don't give a specific thing, I'm going to rotate. Is that joke going to be like the Malcolm and the Middle joke? I don't know. But what we have to do is we have to find out V prime, Y prime, R prime, and J prime. V prime? I've heard of V prime, but I've heard of Optimus Prime. Gosh darn it. No, I'll never tell the joke again. All right, so I'm going to spin this 90 degrees, which we know is 1 turn clockwise. Clockwise go in the way of a clock, like this. Okay, so 90 degrees is 1 turn. Now what I do is I rewrite out my points as they appear. So I'll write them over here. Since I was rotating it about the origin, I'm going to put a dot at the origin. And I'm going to write my points as they appear. It appears that the way I get to V is I just don't move left or right. So V prime is going to be don't move left or right, down 1, 2. it appears that the way I get to J is I go left and down 1. So J prime appears to be left 1, down 1. Y prime appears to be left 1, 2, 3, down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's Y prime. And I totally forgot what I said. Left 3, down 5. And it appears to me that R prime is going to be left 1, 2, 3, down 1, 2, 3, 4. Left 3, down 4. That's what it appears to be. So if you can read sideways, good on you. V prime was don't move down 2. Permanent marker, V prime. J prime was left 1, down 1. Y prime was left 1, 2, 3, down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that was Y prime. And R prime was left 1, 2, 3, down 1, 2, 3, 4. That's R prime. Bada bing, bada bang, bada boom, and blippity blah. Rotations. All right, so as you can see, shape didn't change size. None of the angles changed. It's just that this shape went that away. No rotations. I'm sorry, no reflections, no translations. As one of you said, as. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm sure it means like that was an easy problem. But I don't know what as means. Is that Spanish? Oh, as means easy. Who would have thought? All right, x equals -2. That's going to be my reflection line. So there's x is -1, x is -2. So x equals -2 is going to be that line right there. That's my mirror. Okay, that's my mirror. According to my mirror and where x is 1 unit to the left, so x prime is going to end up being 1 unit to the right of it. N appears to be 1, 2, 3 units to the left of it, so n prime is going to be 1, 2, 3 units to the right of it. B appears to be 1, 2 units to the left of it, so B prime is going to be 1, 2 units to the right of it. Biff. Oof. Bonk. There's my reflection. The size is exactly the same. It's just a mirror image. That's it. Did I forget to call BB prime? I did. I've heard of BB8, but BB prime. You guys want to hear my impression of BB8? You guys want to hear my impression of? Okay, sure. My name is Ball Droid, and I have to roll on out of here. Beep it up, boop, beep, boop. Pretty accurate, right? Thank you. Listen, God's will. If I get copyrighted, God's will. Star Wars can have more money. I don't need it. I'm already very wealthy. I'm not. If we have the translation vector, what this means is right 2, down 3. So according to the multiple choice problem that we saw yesterday, this is going to be a movement of the shape in all of the directions. So I'm going to go right. I'm going to take turns with each point, and I'm going to go right 1, 2, down 1, 2, 3, and that's going to be K. I'm going to go right 1, 2, down 1, 2, 3, and that's going to be N. Yes, Auntie, that's good too. And that's, don't be surprised. I'll explain it after. I can't do too much in my head, otherwise I'll screw up. Right, 1, 2, down 1, 2, 3, and that's P prime. Right, 1, 2, down 1, 2, 3, and that's F prime. So ruler, it's ruler time. It's ruler time. Getting up my ruler and drawing shapes. As is going to be the case with many of these problems on a multiple choice test, you're going to be expected to either be like, which of these pictures is going to be the answer, or which of these points is going to be the answer. Make sure you know that K prime is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. So K prime ends up being 5, -3, which I know you guys know how to do, but don't be surprised if that's going to be the majority of what your tests look like. Where I will give you the shape, I will ask you to translate it, and you're going to have to pick from a list of points as to which one makes sense. You know, what Santi said in the chat is, if I were to give you the points, like if I never gave you the picture and just flat out told you that P was 1, 4, which it is, according to this guy, yeah, we just add 2 and we just subtract 3, so that P prime is going to be 3, 1, and that's what we end up getting. So depending on how the problem looks, like, you know, if I ask you a problem and I say, look at the points that we have, translate it, you really don't need to graph it to find out the answer. You could just do some math. And that's similar to some of these reflection ones, where don't be surprised if I give you a problem and say, here's a point, and here's the new point. What was it? Was it a reflection over the y-axis? Was it a reflection over the x-axis? I don't know. And you guys are just going to have to figure that out on your own, because you're the smart ones and I'm the teacher. I just say jump, and you say, how high, sir? And I say, my dad is sir. And then you say, I thought you and your dad fist fought that one time and he's no longer with us. And that I never told you that story. I don't know where I was going with that joke. I don't know where I was going at all. Rotate 270 degrees counterclockwise. I'm going to switch this up. I'm going to add a bit to it. Let's rotate it around the point 1, 1. I'm adding an extra element. We know how to rotate. We know how to spin it upside down, but this is the way it was given to you as an 8th grade problem. Now it's a geometry 10th grade problem, which is the class that you guys are in. So I care about rotating around 1, 1. So I'm going to put a dot at 1, 1 and create a brand new axis. We've done this before, but it's been some time. Okay, so there's my new axis at 1, 1. And my job is to spin this guy around that 270 degrees counterclockwise. I hope I left myself enough space. It's very possible that I didn't, but we'll see. Counterclockwise, 90 degrees, 180 degrees, and 270 degrees. Now I graph my points in vector format as they appear. I graph my points in vector format, in vector form as they appear. So it appears that the way I get to you is I would go left 1, 2, 3, down 1. So left 3, down 1. Now, the reason why I'm using vector format is because when I would rotate it around the point, I could still have used vector format, but if I'm like, if I start at 0, 0 and go left 3, down 1, I still go -3, -1. However, with these, I'm not going to end up at -3, -1. I'm going to end up at left 3 and down 1 from the point I spun it around. And the point that I spun it around was 1, 1, not 0, 0. So I'd end up at -2, 0. But that's just U. Or as Soldier Boy would say, you left 1. I'm going to B now. Left 1, down 1, 2, 3, 4. So my vector form is left 1, down 4. My Y is going to be down 1, 2. I'm sorry, right 1, 2, down 1, 2, 3. So Y prime is right 2, left down 3. Ugh. Right 2, down 3. And my K is going to have me go right 1, 2, down 1, 2, 3, 4. Right 2, down 4, all in vector form. Matt. Fix your paper. Those of you sideways readers, you can see that U was start at your origin or your new origin and go left 3, down 1. Left 1, 2, 3, down 1. And when you start at 1, 1 and subtract 3 and subtract 1, you do end up at -2, 0 like I predicted. As predicted, as the prophecy foretold. I'm going to start at -1. I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4. And that was U prime. B prime. Yes, it is important that your points are in vector format. Otherwise, you're going to get the wrong points. When you rotate it around a point, you have to put it in vector format. Good question. If it's not, then you're going to end up with the wrong points. Y prime is 2, -3. 1, 2, down 1, 2, 3. And that was Y prime. And K prime was right 1, 2, down 1, 2, 3, 4. That's K prime. B, U, Y, K. So I'm going to go in that order when I connect them. B, U, Y, K. Oh, I wish it was BK. Burger King. Lit job, fam. And as you can see, Famicon, as you can see, my shape just rotated. And it rotated around this point, not this point, this point. And that's why I had to write it out in vector format. So when I rotated around the origin, I don't have to write it out in vector format. But when I do rotate it around a different point, I must write it out in vector format. Vector, oh yeah. Despicable Me. Ah, yes, the Burger King foot lettuce. Oh, that's so funny. Ah ha 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 ha. Ah ha ha ha. Ah ha 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 ha. I like the internet too, boys and girls. Composition of transformations. Composition of transformations means I'm going to transform once and then transform again. So in other words, I'd be a robot turning into a car, turning into a person. I'm just kidding. I'd not be a robot. I'm a man. My first job is to reflect this in the x-axis. So my mirror is the x-axis, and I'm just going to make it darker because why not? Because why the heck not, man? Why the heck not, yo? Didn't really do much. I'm embarrassed. I hope you guys aren't feeling blue. Or for you colorblind kids, gray. Reflect in the x-axis, which means once was down must go up, which I heard of what goes up must come down, but this is the opposite. V prime going to be there because it's 1 unit away. K prime, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, K prime. I've heard of K-pop, but K prime, now that's a different story. BTS, guys, right? They're good. Did you know that RM stands for Rap Master? And his name is Rap Master because he is a talented rap musician. I like BTS because they are pure and they wear lipstick. Paul, you're a big BTS fan, right? His silence speaks volumes. Ben Talk Show. Yes, Paul. BTS means Ben Talk Show. And he, in his own sense, is a rap master. Rapping gifts for your mom, for his mom. Fun fact, did you know that Mike Pence calls his wife mother? Isn't that cute? It's not. I'm going to now take that and I'm going to translate it left 3, down 4. So 1 point at a time. Left 1, 2, 3, down 1, 2, 3, 4. J prime. Left 1, 2, 3, down 1, 2, 3, 4. K prime. Left 1, 2, 3, down 1, 2, 3, 4. V prime. J prime. I've heard of J5 for the Jackson 5, but J prime, that's a different story. K prime, oh, you know what? It's J double prime, K double prime, V double prime. So my joke fails. First time that's happened all year. Ha. There you have it. You know, you should be able to, I should be able to give you a problem on the test that takes that part away. And I show you the picture and I ask you, hey, what happened? And you should be able to say, well, this goes to that because that's the single prime and blue goes to red. So it looks like you reflected it and then you translated it. You should be able to tell me that if and when I give you a problem like that on the test. Santi, you had a question. You can either unmute or you can type yourself out. Don't be scared. It's okay. It's okay, Santi. It's okay. It's okay, Santi. When you graph using the vector things like subtracting or adding all your points, do you hold on. Let me get the entire chat up. The question that was asked was, when you graph using the vector things like subtracting or adding on your points, do you do that from the original thing or the new one? The new one. Great question. Yeah, when I do the double, I probably should have said reflect JKV in the x-axis, then translate its image according to that vector. And that's what I did. So if you're, I will make sure that if I put it on a test, my directions will be a little bit more specific. Good question. All right, sweeties, one more, and then we'll call it a day. These types of problems will probably cover about 80% of what your test is going to look like. The other parts that we haven't talked about was we didn't talk about symmetry at all today. So section 5 was that symmetry section. We'll talk about that. But you know, this is the majority of the test are these types of problems. Can you rotate? Can you reflect? Can you translate? Can you do more than one? Stuff like that. All right. So this is going to kind of Santi's question about, you know, when I ask you to do this, do you do that to the original or the new one? This is basically what he asked. I'm going to rotate this shape, and then I'm going to take the shape that I rotated. After I rotate it, it's going to end up around here somewhere. And after I rotate that shape, then I'm going to move this shape right 2 down 1. So I'm asking you to rotate it 180 degrees. I don't give you a point to rotate it, which means the origin. And I don't give you a direction, but I don't need to because 180 just means upside down. So now I'm going to write down these points. This is my origin. This was my point of rotation. I'm going to write down my new points as they appear. So I have K prime, which is funny because I've heard of K-pop before, but I've never heard of K prime. That's a new one. And if I go up, right 1, up 1, it appears that the new K prime is going to be 1, 1. I have P prime, which appears to be don't move up 1, so that's 0, 1. I have T prime, which is left 1, 2, 3, up 1, 2. So T prime, which is funny. I've heard of T-pain, but I've never heard of T prime before. I've also heard of TI, but T prime, that's different. And Q prime is going to be up 1, 2, 3, 4. So Q prime is 0, 4. That's funny. I've heard of Q and, oh, you know what? Probably shouldn't talk about that. Q and what? No, I will not. I will not finish. I will not give credence to that word. All right. K prime, as you can see, upside down, was 1, 1. P was 0, 1. T was -3 up 2. And Q prime. Oh. I almost knocked my webcam over. Whoa! I'm just not good at rulers, which is weird. But for some reason, I really struggle with rulers. Except for Jesus, because he's the only ruler that matters to me. Amen? Now I take that guy, and I translate what I have here in magenta right to down 1. So I can even just look at these and do that. I mean, taking 1, 1 and going right to down 1 is going to make it 3, 0. So right to boop, boop, down 1 is 3, 0 indeed. Indeed. Right 1, 2, down 1 is P prime. Right 1, 2, and down 1 is Q prime. Right 1, 2, down 1 is T prime. And then let me, since I did red on top of magenta, it's not a good looking picture. And it's actually T double prime, and it's actually K double prime, and it's actually P double prime, and it's actually Q double prime. Q double prime, Anon. What was T supposed to be? Right 2 down 1. I never put, oh, I put it in red. Dot, 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 dot. Oh, I did it fine. Never mind. I thought I screwed it up. And again, if you were to see a problem like this on the test, you would be expected to understand that, like, you know, Q double prime is 2, 3. And T double prime ended up being -1, 1. And K double prime ended up being 3, 0. And P double prime ended up being 2, 0. You know, that's on a multiple choice test. And again, since we're living in this virtual world and I am a virtual girl, Madonna, since that's the case, You have to. Madonna had a song called "We're Living in a Material World" and "I Am a Material Girl." It's a song from the '80s. You guys wouldn't understand, you would be expected to go that far to complete your answer, which isn't hard for you guys to do. You should be able to look at your answer picture and be like, "Oh, it's that," or "It's that." Alrighty.